good morning, and welcome back to the show. Hope all of you guys had a great weekend. It's Monday, and welcome back. Yesterday, we did a live cast. We'll let people get in here in a second, but yesterday we did a live cast and did the whole game with Iowa, Caitlin Clark, and then we also did a few other games. I want you guys to understand. We're going to dive in live and talk about what actually happened to Caitlin Clark. I hope all of you had an excellent weekend. It is so difficult to get back in the office on Monday, and now we have this whole lunar eclipse situation going on where people are a little bit worried about. Get your glasses on, get out there, don't look in the sky. People are like, keep your kids in the house and yada, yada. And a lot of people are going crazy. So I put my suit on today, and I didn't have somebody here to help me, so I don't know if I even got that right. But hopefully I got my jacket on looking fresh. We're going to dive in. We're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. How did Caitlin Clark get shut down versus South Carolina? Very, very interesting. I got to tell you, I was so amazed, first of all, before we go into her getting shut down, what she's done for basketball, what she's done for all the people, all the sports. We're going to give her a little bit of a little horn there because, look, she played good regardless all season. She gets to a situation where he goes against South Carolina, and they're 37-0, and they came in and they locked her down. They D'd her up. During the live, we had a lot of people that were watching this and going, wow, is Caitlin Clark that good? Yeah, she is that good. She had an off day, missing layups, missing jumpers, and taking shots. They just weren't high percentage shots. I told a lot of people on there watching, I'm like, you're watching someone who is one of the best athletes to ever play the game, right? First, it was like one of the best college basketball players. Then it was one of the best basketball players in general. And then it was, wow, what a phenomenal athlete. Someone that people, especially women, if you're a woman right now, you're a girl, you're a lady, and you're watching this live right now, you're going to come in here in a second and see this, upload to YouTube. You got to understand, she put Iowa on the map. She put basketball even more on the map, and she put women basketball players on the map and then women athletes on the map. But I'm just going to say, before I go into how she really got shut down, what a phenomenal athlete. But when I saw her step up and play in the first quarter, it was like, wow, here we go. I was pulling away up by like 10, and it was like, they're that good. She's on. When Caitlin Clark is on, they can't be stopped, and that's obvious. But the problem that I saw through the whole entire game, realistically, the whole situation and the issue was that Caitlin Clark was being D'd up by great athletes, great players that will probably join her in the WNBA. We'll get to that in a second. She wasn't playing against a typical college team where they have one or two good players, star players, and a couple little, girls here and there, women that are pretty good. This South Carolina team was different, right? We're going to go into their lineup and what they did, but they were just so different. But Caitlin Clark got D'd up. When she came across half court, they had players on her now. A lot of other people made that mistake. They covered at the three-point line. You can't wait for Caitlin Clark to get to the three-point line, right? Like, you need to D her up at half court, and that is what South Carolina did. As soon as she crossed over half court, she had people on her face immediately. She had hands on her face. She had several players on her face. And Raven, the defensive player, what a phenomenal game. Wasn't scared to get called for fouls, was in her face, D'ing her up. I'm just saying, this put basketball even more on the map. We did a live. We had a lot of people in there. I appreciate everybody, and good morning to everyone that's coming in right now. Thank you as more people join our program and join our show as we expand. But realistically, how did she get shut down? They put someone on her that would D her up the minute she came across half court. They didn't let her wait, and it was aggressive. It was aggressive nature. You saw Caitlin Clark taking shots off balance, and yeah, she's made some of those shots during the season. This was the NCAA championship game against a very good team and very athletic team, very skilled team. It wasn't just, a bunch of girls out there that were fast. It wasn't just strong. They were all that, and then they were tall. They had the height advantage. I mean, when I was watching it, we'll get to that in a second too, with Cardoso, the center down there, was unstoppable. Like, she has her hands in the air. You get her that ball. It is so difficult to stop her on the other side. But Caitlin Clark, like I said, just got D'd up. Phenomenal player. Love watching her play. You're going to see more of Caitlin Clark, obviously, in the next year. The WNBA, she has all kinds of offers and sponsorship deals and NAL deals she had. They offer her for the big three, $5 million to go join that. So, look, this isn't the end of Caitlin Clark, but she really did get shut down, and I'm not going to deny that. I love watching her play. She had a bullseye on her back right away because it was the hype of Caitlin Clark all season, the all-time leading scorer, one of the best players to ever play. eyes are on Caitlin Clark. She brought so many eyeballs to viewership to watch the game, and she just had an off day, quite, plain and simple, off day, but also D'd up. So let's not confuse having an off day with being D'd up, because that's also the difference. Like, the defense was phenomenal, and that's just part of the whole deal. But look, is Caitlin Clark the best player to ever play? Right, that's the conversation. If they would have won yesterday, it would be hands down. No one would have said anything. I'm still sitting here saying that she's the best player to ever play in college basketball, especially for women. One of the best players to ever play, the best player to ever play. Win or loss that game didn't really matter. But she got beat. So you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of critics jumping up there saying, I don't know if she's the best ever now. Yeah, she still is. She's the lady running around the court. I keep saying girl. I don't want to disrespect her by saying girl. Young lady, if I say girl, I'm not trying to say it in a bad way. She is out there shooting with deep range from all over the court. Doesn't even matter. She is still the best player to ever play in college basketball, especially as a woman. And I'm not going to let that go down. Not going to change my mind on that. Not going to change my tune on that just because she had an off day and was literally, the aggressive nature in the second half was like, wow, right? Like, Caitlin Clark could not get a shot off. She's still the best player to ever play, and a lot comes down to it. It's the morale, it's the excitement, it's the leadership, it's how you conduct yourself off the court, it's how you conduct yourself with interviews, for TVs, for press conferences, how you handle the fan base. People came on the court and stormed the court and ran her over on the court the one day she was injured, got up and said, it's part of basketball, it's part of just being out there and doing what you got to do. So Caitlin Clark, overall, even though she got beat, she got D'd up, they lost the game, she's still the best player to ever play. Why? Because if you put her on South Carolina's team yesterday, you would have saw a whole other Caitlin Clark. You would have saw a whole other person coming up the court, getting the pass, wide open shots. They had a lot of people wide open for South Carolina, hitting nice shots, not taking that away from them. And it was just a great game to watch. She brought so much to women's sports. And again, good morning to all of you guys. Put in the chat what you guys thought about the game. If you watched the game, it was so damn good to watch. The energy was real. It was electrifying, and it brought so many people. She's brought so many people all season. And go, look, keep your eye on women basketball. We are legit. We are real. We are that good. And I got to tell you, I was a fan of women's sports. I've been for a long time. But she's made it out to be, wow, don't miss the game. Right? Like, that's the difference now. Don't miss the game. When you got people like Caitlin Clark on the court, very hard to miss basketball games. Moving on here, how did South Carolina create the comeback? Right? Because they were down by 10. They get into the game. They call a timeout. They get back into the game. Coach is like, we got to change some shit up here. It's not working. How did they create the comeback? Well, let me tell you something. Cardoza, the center right here, you're looking on the screen. She was one of the main people. She is so damn big. And if I pull up her stats here, realistically, seeing this girl, when I'm watching her, 6'7", right? 6'7". You heard that right. That is who you're D'ing up on the court. Like, someone that's 6'7", and it's like, whoa, Caitlin Clark is 6 foot, balling out there. 6'7", when she catches the ball, she puts her hands up at the center position, and you put your hands up and you pass it in her, it is so hard to stop that. It is so hard to stop that. So Stokey, defending a sophomore at Iowa, did an excellent job. I'm not knocking her at all. She did an excellent job, superb job. She's coming back, only a sophomore. But can you imagine D'ing up someone that's 6'7" in college basketball? Then they had all these other skilled positions running around the court, hitting threes. That is why they were 37-0, right? And that's why they came into this game and they won another game, went undefeated. We're to get to that also. All I can tell you is watching this game was like, whoa, we got to watch college basketball more. We got to watch women's sports more because they're playing. And I hate to compare it like, man, I'm just saying, people say, women step down. But those hitting threes, like they were hitting threes, driving the lane, hitting jumpers, D'ing people up, stealing the ball, making Iowa have problems, bringing the ball up the court. They started pushing the pace, right? Like, they literally started pushing the pace with Iowa, and that's where the problem started. The athleticism to move faster up and down the court, South Carolina had no problem with that. And Iowa, they did. I can't knock that. Caitlin Clark started shooting outlandish shots because she was so worried. Not when you're up and you're just hitting these crazy shots for fun for the fan base. Like, you're down by a good amount. and then running on the court and trying to shoot it up. That is not how Caitlin Clark plays her game. Coming back is okay. Being someone who can help with assists and making people around you is okay. But coming up the court and just shooting outlandish shots really quick, just trying to create a comeback, that is not what Caitlin Clark is going to do. That's not what she's done all year, and that's not what she's going to do in the WNBA. And that is why they brought the comeback with the center Cardoso leading that and then hitting those three-pointers. It was electrifying. South Carolina basically could not miss. It was like layup, 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 could not miss. And at first they started off missing a lot of shots. But when the comeback started, they turned the heat on, and Iowa just could not handle the pressure at that point. Love Caitlin Clark. Love what Iowa did all season. Love what all the players around her did, but they just could not handle the heat. When the comeback started, some coaching changes. It was too difficult for them to make it happen. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's future in the WNBA, right? Like Caitlin Clark, we already know she's that girl, right? She's that girl. She's electrifying. All the shots she's made, all-time leading scorer. We cannot take anything away from her, and heading into the WNBA, will be absolutely no different from her angle of success, her angle of leadership, her angle of motivating, putting butts in seats, making women's sports be all-time high. This will not change. What will change is the defensive lineup she goes against. Right? You're not just gonna have people out there right now that are D'ing you up in college. Like I just said, a couple, a star here and there, a couple good players. South Carolina had tons of them out there. But instead of having that kind of defense, you're gonna have a WNBA defense will be a lot like South Carolina and obviously even better. So Caitlin Clark's going to have to work on her jumpers, work on moving the ball around, which she did all season, but she's going to have to do an even better job of that, because if not, she's going to have a little bit of, some of those issues. You can't take those shots like she's been taking when someone's right in your face all the time. And she's done it all season, but not when you're down. And I know the coach was getting stressed out, trying to make things happen, trying to make changes. But listen, this is the person you're going to see. That is just so damn talented. And when she hits a WNBA, it's going to be no different for those people watching her as a competitor. And I'm really, really excited to see what she does. She's going to enter the draft. She's expected to go first pick. And a lot of those South Carolina people are like, we got some players too. We got some ballers too that want to go first pick. Caitlin Clark is still the best player in college basketball. Leaving now, heading into the WNBA, she will be the best. In here in the chat, good morning to you. Put where you're from. What city are you in? All people that are in here right now watching for the first time, hit the like button and subscribe. And we also have live game-by-play games tonight for the matchup for basketball with UConn and Purdue. Don't forget to put that on also. That will be tonight, lined up live play-by-play. And if you're in here for the first time, hit the like button. Put where you're from in the chat as we expand and grow our network. Moving on here into the conversation. What went wrong after the first quarter? Like, what actually transpired from Iowa coming up, being up by 10? How did they change? Like, what was the reasoning? Well, I can tell you right now, Caitlin Clark started getting hot. Scored 18 points like that, right? And then you also have Kate in the corner hitting shots too. She was playing great. Martin, she was playing awesome. Stokey playing awesome. The first quarter, they came out. The morale, the excitement, the great. I don't think South Carolina at first was like, whoa, they're a lot better than we thought. So what happened was Iowa was rolling. You want to know what happened? Coaching changes. That's what happened. And I got to tell you, in the next topic here, we're going to bring up what happened with the coach, what it's like to go 38-0. But coaching happened. Like, that's what happened after the first quarter. These players were still balling out. All the players from South Carolina were still doing their thing. They were showing up. They were balling. They were chasing the ball. They were trying to steal the ball. They were trying to do what they got to do. Coaching adjustments to watching how Caitlin Clark brings the ball up the court, that was a big part of it. Like, okay, Caitlin Clark's got the ball. How do we handle her? We know all season. We've seen her hit those shots from half court, damn near 40-foot shots, 50-foot shots, shooting crazy. We saw that. Let's let her bring the ball up the court. Once they started applying the defensive pressure, I was in the first quarter going, wow, we're that good too. We're going to run this away. People are like, I told you, Caitlin Clark's that good. It's going to be an easy game. They're up by 10. Not so fast. Right, not so fast. And then here comes South Carolina. Every time they hit a three-point shot, I hit it up on the board here. Make some noise. I was pressing for them out there because every time they hit a three-pointer, I saw the comeback starting. I said, well, Caitlin Clark will come back. Everybody was like, don't worry, she'll get back on fire. She'll bring them back into the game, and she just couldn't. The defensive pressure was applied. It was too damn hard for her to do it. And after the first quarter, South Carolina's like, we're here to play too. It's time to run. It's time to ball. And I'm just saying, all those girls, women, ladies, saying the best I can here, all of them on that defensive side. And then when they brought the ball back up the court, I'm telling you that the athletic skills and position there was like, oh my God, nothing like we've seen in a long, long time. And that's why we want to talk about this. What does it mean for South Carolina to go 38-0? Like that's what I want to say right now to people. A lot of people that love the Iowa fans, the chat, the comments on the live play-by-play, so many Iowa fans were in there. Obviously, South Carolina fans too, but much more. Why? Because of Caitlin Clark. What does it mean for this coach here and the organization to go 38-0? Do you know how hard that is? I don't care what sport you're in. I don't care if you're in football, baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis, swimming, and any boxing, fighting, any sport. I missed all these sports. Do you know how it feels to go 38-0? Like you're a coach up there cutting that net down. You're looking at all your young ladies out there in college basketball, all that training, all that opportunity to get better, and you're playing against the best player of all time and all-time leading scorer, Caitlin Clark, and you come out victorious, and not just victorious, convincingly victorious, and not taking anything away from Caitlin Clark. Loved her, talk about her the whole time, looking forward to watching her play. But to see a team go 38-0 doesn't happen often, right? Like teams win championships. Even Iowa was like 34 and whatever, 34-4 or something like that. So all I'm saying is it is so difficult to get to an NBA championship, a college championship, a Super Bowl, and be undefeated. Like how many NFL teams are undefeated and win the Super Bowl? Not many. How many teams in college sports are undefeated and win? Only thing I see really is college football happens, but not many teams pull this off. So it is something that people should be looking at going, oh my God, wow, it's exciting, it's great. Love to watch the college sports, love to watch this, but more importantly, what does it mean for this coach, right? Like she's up there cutting this net down, and she's like, I coached these young ladies this entire time. She was excited. She was in tears. She was on the court, and obviously Caitlin Clark was in tears walking off the court as well because the feelings are real. They're so real. Like people sometimes forget these are young college girls out there on the court. And let me say that, everybody watching this right now, when you watch the game, these are young college girls on the basketball court. It's not like these girls are even in their 30s or even late 20s. These girls, you got girls on the court 18 years old, 19 years old, right? Stokey, sophomore, what is she, 19 years old or 20 or something like that? Super young out there. So what it means for this coach is like she coached a group of young ladies out there. You build a camaraderie, all the teamwork, all the energy, all the pressure, all the traveling, all the injuries, the blood, sweat, and tears just to get to 10-0 is great, right? Like 10-0 is great. To get to 38-0 and win an NCAA tournament championship against the quote-unquote best player of all time, actually take the quotes out, the best player of all time, is just something phenomenal to watch, and my hat's off to South Carolina. I hate to see, obviously, what Caitlin Clark went through and how she felt walking off because she brought it to her, I guess if you want to say, brought it to herself in a way because she's so damn good. Compliment to her. But, man, what a great game to watch, and it was exciting to watch. But, listen, today, if you're watching this for the first time live, don't forget, we got the lunar eclipses coming up. I believe it's like 1:45 or 1:50 Eastern Standard Time. Get out there and get a chance to watch that. Put your glasses on, right? Like I was talking about that. My mom's in town. Put your glasses on. Get out there and take a look at the lunar eclipse. I will be very careful. I will be very, very careful today because of the issues that can happen if you look up and look at the wrong thing. But I'll just tell you this. We'll be live tonight for the play-by-play. I believe it is at 9 o'clock. Jump on there. We're going to have the finals with UConn and Purdue live play-by-play. It's going to be so much fun to watch. Entertaining, lots of people in there. It will be called a UConn versus Purdue live stream play-by-play watch party because we're going to have a lot of people in there talking, BSing, having a good time. Get your drinks out, get your popcorn ready because it's going to be exciting. Hit the like button, subscribe, and you'll be able to get notified by hitting the notification bell right away as we go live right at tip-off. You guys will enjoy it, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow live at 10 a.m. Until next time.